chance to do it, but then this is where we just talked about our conversation with the baboon. I mean, he's now getting a little tipsy, wanting to try some stuff. He's like, fuck it.
Whoa. The way you sound, it sounds like he's trying to get frisky with this baboon.
Well, it is just, I mean,
lonely.
Hey, remember, he's the dominant here. You just said that.
Fortunately for him, he's the dominant one.
Yes.
Otherwise, Baboon's gonna take things into his own hands, his furry hands.
Literally, his furry hands.
Eric said fortunately, and I could have swore he was about to say foreshadowing.
Oh, no. There is foreshadowing here because the whole entire time he's talking, there's a fly flying around the room at this.
And the baboon catches it, right?
No, it just swats it away.
Swats it away, whatever.
That's what I mean by the baboon is one of the best actors in this movie, because that whole scene where he's just like swatting away at the fly, I love that shit.
Yeah, it is surprising how much they get out of the baboon. Seth does the classic scientist mistake, is he is impatient, and he's
drunk. He's drunk.
Yes, and he wants to get some results, and he's not willing to wait for them the proper way. He doesn't want to go through rats and cats and whatever and work his way up to baboons and eventually humans. He wants to do 1 baboon, 2 baboon, human immediately.
This is why you don't drink in science, ladies and gentlemen.
This is why you don't drink in science.
Yes.
And he drinked, and also he had lady problems, which will make you crazy as well, as we all know. And for a genius to not consider contamination problems in the pod is unforgivable. It could be if it wasn't, I guarantee in that pod with him, other than the fly, was probably, how many dust mites and whatever else. Like, I mean,
could have been a flea.
Surrounded
by
in there from
a
the flea from the baboon, a baboon flea, a flea off the baboon's red ass.
Yeah, Brundle flea.
Brundle
flea. The flea too.
The tick. Spoon. But he wakes up in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden he's starring in the 1986 Olympics.
Yeah.
He's doing a floor exercise right there in the living room.
He's become he realizes he's becoming a superhero.
Is Bumblefly a superhero?
I love that. I mean, it reminds me of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
right?
Me too. Yep.
I mean, you got a person gaining the abilities of an insect. I mean, arachnid insect. Leave me alone. I don't split fly hairs on me here, but he's got all these abilities now. I mean, he can even climb on walls like a spider, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Brundlefly does whatever a Brundlefly does. Pukes on your hand, sucks it up.
I love the term Brundlefly.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Brundlefly. You got Brundle, you got Fly, you mix them together, Brundlefly. It's amazing.
If you notice, he has that walk too. He doesn't like that. He walks like this as he's walking toward her. No shirt, walk, sweat.
Oh yeah, it's a sexy Goldblum. Yeah, he's looking good. He's feeling good. yeah. I mean, you might as well do that in slow motion.
I like when they leave there. Do you have any coffee with your sugar? I mean,
the sugar starts right. He starts eating all kinds of sugar.
Yeah, you obviously know something right now.
Bars and shit.
Yeah, this is where the mania starts to kick in. It's this conversation at the coffee shop where you really start to see like, oh, something's different. And
he's a little kooky. He's starting to get the twitches.
Yep,
I like the twitches. That's a nice effect,
dude.
Nice,
and it's so Jeff Goldblum too. He does it in all of his movies. He has that twitch to him. Well, when he's talking.
These are exaggerated.
Twitches. Yeah, I mean they're a little exaggerated, but
he's a little movie. But he's like super twitching like a damn.
And what's
fly
funny
at this point?
Yeah, well, and we go through all this, and we get back, and as you start thinking, it's like he is become very animalistic of the world, because like an insect or animals, you're born, you multiply, you die.
Yeah, he wants to eat and he wants to mate.
Yeah, that's what he wants. That's all. Yeah. That is the animal way. You eat and you mate and then you die.
Well, he has a monologue about insect politics, right?
And he will be the first insect politician.
Exactly, which is a great thing. And I guess Cronenberg came up with this insect politics thing from his days as an entomologist, which I didn't know that Cronenberg was an entomologist, which is a great way to start out before you make the movie The Fly, right?
And he's a gynecologist.
He's a gynecologist in this movie.
He's later a gynecologist. That's right. But he was fascinated by insect societies, the division of labor, and the caste structure therein. I'm reading this again off that website that I mentioned earlier, Film School Rejects. Interesting. Yeah. And one of the better, I think, bits of dialogue or monologue or whatever in the film. Yeah. I really like that when he's kind of in that place at that point where he can think about the pros of both, the pros of being a human, the pros of being an insect. He's getting the strengths of both. He's got his intelligence and he's got his strength from the insect, and he's kind of enjoying that. And he's kind of having a good time there. Then of course things start going more insect and less human.
Well, and this is right there too, is also, you know, because I mean, he's wanting to go. She's like, I don't know how you have any fluids left in your body, but but then all of a sudden he's like, well, I feel great, you know, I want to put you through. And you're kind of freaking out, like, is he gonna just throw her in there? You know, we are obviously know that there's something wrong with him, and you can even kind of see it already. His face is a little
pocky. Yeah, a little pocky, looking a little funky, looking a little sweaty. Yeah. He's not that perfect specimen that he started off as.
Yeah. And I love
gymnastics.
Yeah. And I love when you talk about the dialogue from the point where she says no, and he just freaking goes off on this whole flesh run. I mean, it's that whole section is phenomenal. I love it. I mean, there's so many little quotes in there and all the dialogue, and I mean, he's just gone off the I mean, throws on the jacket, he's gone out, because again, he's his animalistic side. I eat, I must mate, I have to keep making more, you know, and that's kind of mindset he's in. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's out just trying to find somebody to have sex with.
You're a fucking drag, you know that?
I love that shit. But all right, let's go ahead and talk about the cast of this bitch.